awareness campaign about mental illness called borderline personality disorder that affects about 4% of the population in Spain. She will start with the 5 biggest Spanish companies and has the support of one of the best specialized foundations in Spain. Thank you. Carolina Escayón from Colombia. Schools are preparing students for jobs that do not exist today. And so her idea, Práctica, designs and executes meaningful classroom experiences to develop 21st century skills. Using urban challenges, information technology, and public awareness strategy, Práctica builds a network of organizations interested in a new kind of education in Colombia. We also have Santiago Claude from Chile. His idea is Raíz, a consulting firm that coordinates diverse public and private stakeholders in order to benefit rural development in Chile. Its objective is to recover and enhance local traditions and cultural manifestations through community tourism to use this as a tool for development. And with that, we're going to go with our next presentation, Daiana Molero from Argentina.
Can you hear me? Yes, okay. Well, let's see what happened with the clicker, but I'm Daiana Molero. I'm from Argentina. Good afternoon. And I would like to start with the picture of this guy, Lionel Messi. What's the story behind Lionel Messi's success? Okay, for me there are 2 reasons. The first one, his capabilities, his talent, but also the Barcelona team. Barcelona represents 2 invaluable ingredients for Messi's success. Let me say, okay, long-term outlook, but also a strategic think. Why? Because at the age of 11, Messi needed a very costly treatment to solve some growth problems, whatever. The thing is that the Barcelona decided to cover this cost, placing a long-term bet on him. But also, the people at Barcelona realized that Messi was different. So they decided the team so as to make him shine. They decided team so as to take the most out of him. And well, all those things combined let Messi become the most competitive player in the world. So what if instead of Messi, we try to figure out how to do to unleash Argentina's potential? My guess is that what we need is redesign public policy making in national. Why? Because this is the only way to start talking about successful entrepreneurs, successful companies, and to make Argentina giant. And that's what I'm working on. I'm working on the creation of the Argentinian Council for Competitiveness. So, before we start looking as puzzle as Messi, let me explain what is all this about. What we do? We try to identify which are the laws, the policies, everything that impacts on Argentina's competitiveness. We also identify areas for improvement, and we try to provide some strategies for reform. That's what we do. But the question is, why competitiveness? The easiest answer is that we are doing, oh, that's what happened. The easiest one is that we are doing terrible at competitiveness. We lost more than 30 positions in just 8 years. But this is not the real answer. Because we live in a globalized world, and that's why competitiveness is so crucial. We need to compete. We are forced to compete. And we have to be prepared to compete through innovation and through productivity. Because this is the only way to ensure, to create better jobs, better well-paid jobs, and to increase well-being of Argentinians. So, with this idea of competitiveness in mind, is that our high experienced professionals work on the main activities of these councils, that are inquiries, research, and also we have to start shaping the debate about competitiveness in the country. So that's what we do. Inquiries, what is this about? The government sets the topic of inquiry, so to ensure that what we are doing is relevant. Then we have a very long process, like an year, because we need to engage with the society, with the main stakeholders that are involved in the reforms. The companies, the civil society. We need to build these bridges because we need to create a dialogue. We need to create consensus, and we need to legitimate the reforms. This is the only way to guarantee a long-term stability of policy. That is the problem in Argentina, actually. And, well, after that, we delivered the final report. The other thing is the research. We have to present yearly a report on competitiveness so that we can assess how is Argentina doing, where are we going, are we better than before, I mean, how are we doing relative to other countries. And also, as I told you, start creating the awareness of competitiveness in the society. So, okay. The result of all of this is a very informed public policy making and also more transparent and a more participative process. And as I told before, all those things are crucial for long-term stability of public policy. So if you're thinking that I got completely creative during these 3 months, okay, I didn't, because this idea is already working in Australia and in New Zealand. Actually, we took this model from the Productivity Commission of Australia. But we don't have to go that far because in our, no, it's that is like a president. One more, yeah. I mean, we don't have to go that far because the region already have these kind of institutions, and that's great because we can start creating a network between those agencies and start thinking about competitiveness in a regional way. So, I am so passionate talking about an agency, an institution, and I'm from Argentina, that's kind of weird. But the reason is because I'm sure that Argentina is going to change. I mean, Argentina needs to change, and that's what I'm working with this guy, so Mauricio Macri, hopefully the next president of Argentina, and he has a vision for the country. I mean, he thinks that Argentina needs to be part of the world. Argentina needs to be integrated into the world, and that's why he encouraged me to come here to study what are other countries doing in order to face the challenge of competitiveness, to face the challenge of globalization, and that's what I did. Now I have to come back, and we have to engage businessmen that are a problem, you told me, and businessmen, congressmen, I mean, civil society, in order to pass this by law, because eventually we need to pass it by law. The agency has to have its own budget to act independently, and I mean, to start working, to start changing Argentina. And let me finish with a quote of Roberto Mangabeira. Roberto Mangabeira is a Brazilian thinker. I love my country, you know? I love my country, but I love it in the way that Mangabeira thinks that one should love his country. I love it just not for what it is now, but for what it can become. And Argentina has a lot of potential. We are the 8th largest country in the world. We have, well, I mean, I can talk like an Argentinian forever, okay? We have very biotech companies. We have great human capital, technological, I mean, we're fantastic, but we have that's a problem. But we can change this, that is an actual magazine of The Economist, into this, and I'm sure that this new process of public policy making is going to be part of the process of change. So thank you very much for your patience, and have a great afternoon.